Welcome, Cougar fans, to another exciting broadcast of Lady Cougar Volleyball. St. Francis enters tonight's matchup with Taylor University. Taylor, the 17th ranked team in the country. Lady Cougars, a 4-5 overall record, 1-0 in conference play, having beat Huntington this past weekend at Huntington. A big opening match for Coach Fabiana Shields and her Lady Cougar volleyball team. Coach Shields, in her second year with the squad, went to Huntington and won 27-25, 25-20, 16-25, and 25-23. Taylor University, well, they've kind of become accustomed to their top spot amongst the Crossroads League. Right now, a 6-2 overall record, 1-0 in Crossroads League play. Taylor defeated Goshen 25-23, 25-17, 25-23. The Lady Trojans, only two losses of the season, were at Grandview in Iowa. That was back on August 24th. Lost that game in 3. And then they played Evangel a day later. Evangel's out of Missouri. Lost to Evangel 2-3 in 5. So the Lady Trojans, though, have picked it up since then, going on to beat Robert Morris, Davenport, Indiana Tech, a tough Indiana Tech. They beat 3-0, and Goshen. Looking at the Crossroad League standings. Taylor's on top at 6-2 overall, 1-0 in conference. Grace is in second, 6-3 overall, 1-0 in conference. Mount Vernon at 6-3, 1-0. St. Francis holds the number 4 position with a 4-5 record, 1-0 in conference play. We're going to send it now down to the court.
Thank you. Now, Crystal Ball of the St. Francis Cougars will lead us in prayer.
Strong and faithful God, as we come together for this game, we ask you to bless these athletes, coaches, officials, and fans. Keep us safe from injury and harm. Instill in us respect for each other and give us strength in our endeavors. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Now let's meet the teams. First, the visiting team from Taylor University. Number 1,
So we're all set to begin here. First set coming up momentarily. Your Lady Cougars already 4 wins on the season. Last year, we didn't get win 3 until towards the end of the season. So Coach Fabiana Shields in her second year, just an outstanding job here with St. Francis. She, of course, was the female athlete of the year at IPFW, I believe it was every single year that she played, leaving as their all-time leader in kills for the Mastodons, a strong volleyball program there. And Fabiana Shields, definitely one of the best. Looking at this Taylor University squad, there's 2 names you need to watch out for, and it's Ashlyn DeHoo and Allie Swart. 84 kills and 76 kills, respectively, between the 2. So we'll see how we get started here. Lindsay Weiss is going to take the serve to start this game for St. Francis. Lindsay, of course, last year the only real setter on the team, and she got hurt towards the end of the season. Here to start the match already, number 10, Sarah Clark. She's going to head to the bench as Morgan Hansen, number 6, comes out. Serve gets across, picked up by the Trojans. Big from the left side is number 4 with the kill, Allie Swart. She's a senior at 6 foot from Wisconsin. Yeah, you think the Taylor Trojans are pretty good. I told you they're a national program, and they've got girls from all over the country on their team. Georgia, Minnesota, just to name a few. Sarah Clark sends it over for St. Francis. Swart is picked up by Haley Ream. Now it's Carrie Clark. Sending it back over, and a big block there by number 13, Haley Slusher. Another freshman standing 6 foot tall. You're not going to get many past her. Her and number 5, Haley Ream, play in the middle right now for the Cougars as Justine Kaiser enters the match. Serving the rock for St. Francis is number 8, Carrie Clark. She's a freshman. She's also a twin with Sarah. Sarah's a middle hitter. Carrie's more of an outside hitter. She also plays oppo. Both stand at 6 feet tall. From Valparaiso, Indiana. Sarah sends it over, and it's just a bit wide. Point goes to Taylor. So with the serve for the Trojans is number 13. That's Elizabeth Luke, outside hitter, a senior at 6'1". There's a little bit of an age difference down here on the court. Taylor fields a lot of seniors, as you would expect from a quality program like they have. St. Francis, well, they've got a new coach. This is the 3rd coach we've had in 5 years. Fabiana Shields in her 2nd year, just doing a great job. She's got a lot of freshmen out there, and they're really starting to learn to play together very well. That was picked up. Lindsay Weiss with the set over to Slusher. I think they're going to call a double hit. Point goes to the Trojans. So once again with the serve is number 13, Elizabeth Luke. Bam! There's a little bit of a floater picked up by Slusher. Weiss goes all the way over to Justine Kaiser, and it's blocked, goes out of bounds. Point to St. Francis. With the block for Taylor was number 4, Allie Swart. She's a killer down there, leads the team in kills. Well, actually, she's 2nd. She's got 76 right behind DeHoo, who's got 84. Big time serve there by number 3, Rachel Weaver with the ace. Cougars tied up at 3. Folks, it's a good thing to watch down here. You can see that these Lady Cougars, they're young, already starting to play together. Only going to get better as the years go on. And that was Carrie Clark. It may not have looked pretty, but it got the job done. Cougars up 4-3. Once again, it's Rachel Weaver with the serve into the net. We're tied up at 4. Couple substitutions for Taylor coming into the match is number 1, Julia Wiley, and number 17, Makila Sir. Makila is a middle hitter. She's a 6'4" freshman. She's from Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Rem sends it over for St. Francis. A big swat coming by number 15 for Taylor. That's Montana Ashland with the point. Lady Trojans up by 1. Lindsay Weiss sending it over to number 10, Sarah Clark. Entering the match for St. Francis is number 9, Jessica Aerosmith, in for Lindsay Weiss. Fabiana Shields with some instructions for Weiss. Now with the serve is number 5, Haley Rem. Haley is also a setter, so now expect her to take over the setting duties now that Weiss is on the sideline. Rem is a 5'10" freshman from Rockford, Ohio, went to Parkway High School. On the outside, setting it over was number 3 for Taylor, DeHoo. As Aerosmith sends it into the net, point Trojans. DeHoo, as we said earlier, leading the team in kills. She's got 84 entering the match. And this is Ashlyn DeHoo with the serve. Outside hitter. She's a junior at 5'10" from Iowa. Gets the point. 7-5, Taylor on top. And it's a bit long. Good recognition there by 2 freshmen, Carrie Clark and Rachel Weaver. Danielle Hartman now into the match. Last year, Danielle strictly pretty much a libero for Coach Fabiana Shields, and it looks like now Rachel Weaver wearing the odd-colored jersey. Whoa, big time set there for number 17, Makila Sir. Yeah, she's a 6'4" freshman, so looks like Taylor's not going to be going away anytime soon. They're led by Brittany Smith in her 7th season. Serve coming up by number 7, Kelsey Carr. Picked up by Clark, over to Rem. Rem sets it up big time for Jessica Aerosmith, and with the touch, gets the point. Good idea there by Aerosmith. She had middle blockers right in her face, sent it right over the front line as it just drifted slowly in for a point. Sarah Clark now with the serve from Valparaiso, Indiana, one of the twins. That ball is sent over. Slusher sends it right back. Set up for number 13, Aerosmith there with the block. Danielle Hartman over to Rem. Rem puts it right in front of her for Haley Slusher. Slusher, well, she stands at 6 foot tall from Speedway, Indiana, Speedway High School. It's number 10, Sarah Clark, and we're tied up at 8. Clark sends the ball over, picked up by the Trojans. This one's going to go behind to Sir. Over to Carrie Clark. Oh, nice looking play there. I believe that was number 5 for the Trojans, Casey Allen. Heads up there. She found a hole in the center of the Cougar defense. Got the point. Lady Trojans up now 9-8. With the serve, that's number 12, Olivia Griffith. Rem sets it up behind her for Aerosmith. Attempting the block was number 13, Elizabeth Luke. But Aerosmith, too much muscle behind that one. We're back to being tied at 9. Lindsay Weiss coming into the match now for Aerosmith. Weiss will take over serving duties. Right in front of her is number 3, Rachel Weaver, libero. Weiss lets her fly. nicks the top of the net. Haley Slusher with the block. And that one looked to be out of bounds, but it was not, just caught a little bit of the line. Not so sure. The ref had a good position on that one, but needless to say, we'll live with the call. 10-9, Taylor up by 1. With the serve, that was number 16 for the Trojans, Courtney Hirschberger. Cougars get the point. Carrie Clark. Back to being tied at 10. Folks, last year when you would watch this University of St. Francis volleyball team play, there just simply wasn't enough depth on the bench. A lot of times you would see the team falter as the match went on, as the set went on, as the match continued. Ball into the net, point, St. Francis. Cougars take the 1-point lead. But now Fabiana Shields in the offseason was very busy recruiting. Brought in a bunch of freshmen. Here's one of them right now. It's Carrie Clark, sends it over. And a big-time block there by Justine Kaiser. 2-point lead for St. Francis. But going back to my previous thought, there are many more players now on the bench. So Fabiana Shields can rotate a little bit more. She's got depth and quality depth to work with. Taylor Trojans from the outside. A little bit of an awkward hit there by number 3, Ashlyn DeHue. Trojans get the point. So the Trojans creep back within 1. 12-11, St. Francis on top. Here with the serve is number 14, Amanda Beebe. Not sure if she's related to Don Beebe, the old wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. That has yet to be determined. Justine Kaiser sends it over for St. Francis, and it just squeaks in. Cougars take the 2-point advantage. Don Beebe's actually from the western suburbs outside of Chicago. And she's from Aurora, Illinois, Aurora Christian, and that's where Beebe coaches. So, yes, I do believe we could have a match there. Now from the outside, that was number 3, Sweet. Big block there by Sarah Clark. Set by Weiss. Ball was thrown over by Sarah. Weiss picks up that one. Now Rem sends it into the middle. Once again, Carrie Clark sending it over. Excuse me, that was Sarah Clark. And another point. Sarah Clark getting her done. And I got to tell you, you see the enthusiasm out there on the court from these young Cougars. And it starts with the Clark sisters. Carrie, she wears number 8. Sarah wears number 10. Big hit from the outside by number 4, Allie Swart, one of the leaders in kills for the Trojans. Justine Kaiser picks it up. Lindsay Weiss with the set. Over to Rem, a big-time hit. Went all the way to the back row for the Trojans. Swart once again sends it over. That one was picked up by Weaver. Justine Kaiser with an attempt, blocked at the line. And a beautiful save by Carrie Clark. This is a marathon of a point. Rem sends it over. Oh, a little bit strong there with the dig was Rem. And number 15 for the Trojans, cleaning it up, was Montana Ashlyn. With the serve now for the Trojans, Julia Wiley. She's a setter, also a freshman for Taylor. You know, come to think about it, Taylor, they field 6 freshmen right now, so they also got some very talented youth for the Trojans as they claw within 1 point. 14-13, your University of St. Francis Cougars on top. Once again, the serve, it's Wiley. And a nice save by Weiss, sent over by Weaver. Just a bit long. Point, Trojans. Well, folks, between Haley Rem, Rachel Weaver, and the Clark sisters, they have yet to take a break. That was Sarah sent that one right into the net. She was not happy about a timeout, Fabiana Shields. Don Beebe played for the Buffalo Bills in their heyday. Remember, the Bills went to 3 straight Super Bowls, lost all 3. Needless to say, that's still a remarkable feat. If I remember correctly, Don Beebe used to wear the extra large football helmet. Kind of reminded you of Darth Vader in Spaceballs. That's what it reminded me of. Cougars down by 1. Trojans lead it 15-14. "15 seconds left on the clock before we resume action." And now it looks like Sarah Clark, nope, she comes back out, along with Carrie. Justine Kaiser, Lindsay Weiss, Haley Rem, and Rachel Weaver. Rachel Weaver from Carroll High School here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, along with Morgan Hansen, the only 2 players on the squad from Fort Wayne. Wiley sends it over. Weiss with the set. Went on the wrong side of the net, though. And Montana is there to clean it up. Montana Ashland been putting in work there in the middle. Once again, it's Wiley with the serve. Picked up by Clark, a little bit long, saved by Sarah Clark. Big hit picked up by Weaver. Weiss over to Justine Kaiser. Nice dig by the Trojans. Once again, a nice pickup by Rachel Weaver, saved by Sarah Clark. Carey sends it over just a little bit long. It's a nice dig by Taylor's number 16, Courtney Hirschberger, keeping that play alive for the Trojans. Hirschberger hails from Goshen, Indiana, went to Fairfield High School. She's a 5'6" senior. We setting it up for Sarah Clark with the touch. Cougars with the point. Score is 17-15. Jessica Aerosmith back into the match as Lindsay Weiss heads to the sideline. With the serve is number 5, Haley Rem, a 5'10" setter. Freshman from Rockford, Ohio. Oh, big block there by Sarah Clark, standing right in front of the face of Michaela Sir, the 6'4" freshman. Clark got a hand on it, but a little bit too much power behind that spike as it rolled out of bounds. With the serve was DeHoo, Ashlyn DeHoo. Jessica Aerosmith sends it over. Another spike or setup for Sir. Sir sends it long this time. Haley Rem was right there to watch it go by. And forgive me for butchering Haley's last name, but it is Ream. Haley Ream. In the middle of the court for the Cougars. Danielle Hartman sends it right into the net. 19-16. Guest on top. They are the 17th ranked team in NAIA. Taylor Trojans. At one point in this season, Lady Trojans had a 2-2 record. I'm sure Coach Smith was like, what the hey? Since then, the Trojans have rattled off 4 straight victories and sit with a 6-2 overall record, while St. Francis sits at 4-5. With the serve is number 7, Kelsey Carr, sophomore, DX. So 21-16, Trojans 4 points away from closing this match out. St. Francis 5 points away from tying it up. Haley Ream sends it over far side to Carrie Clark. picked up by the Trojans. Justine Kaiser with a nice dig. Ream sends it into the middle to Sarah Clark. Little touch on that ball. Hirschberger sends it up top. Ream was there to get a hand on it. Ream once again setting it behind her for Aerosmith. Nobody there. Rachel Weaver had to dive for that one. A nice hit by number 5, Casey Allen, a freshman, 6-foot middle hitter from Kendallville, Indiana, East Noble High School. You know, we talked about this Taylor roster earlier today. Davenport, Iowa, Indianapolis, Indiana, Clive, Iowa, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, and Minnesota. I think it's safe to say that Coach Brittany Smith in her 7th season attracts top talent to her program over at Taylor University, located in Upland, Indiana. Crosstown rival with Indiana Wesleyan, not far from their school, just on the other side of I-69. Here at St. Francis, our crosstown rival is Indiana Tech, located about 4 miles east of here. And the Cougars will take on the Warriors. We already scrimmaged them earlier this season. And I may be mistaken. That may be the only time we play them. Okay, so the big set by Ream, picked up by Kaiser after the block from Sarah Clark's big hit. That was Carrie Clark, and that was sent back St. Francis way. Trojans extend their lead 23-16. With the serve for Taylor is number 7, Kelsey Carr, the sophomore from Muncie, Indiana. Justine Kaiser sends it over for St. Francis. Nice setup by Wiley. Sir sent it over. Kaiser into the net. 24-16, Trojans on top. Trojans really starting to wear down the Cougar offense over here. Pretty indicative of what we would see last year when we watched St. Francis. Ream with the set. And point goes to Sarah Clark and the Cougars. Haley Slusher back into the game. Taking a breather is number 3, Rachel Weaver from Carroll High School here in Fort Wayne. Sarah sends it over. Double hit. Point St. Francis. Game point here, 24-18, with the serve is Sarah Clark, 6-foot freshman. Boom. Oh, just a bit outside. Taylor takes game 1, 25-18. Time we just put a comma there, but remember our score goes first. Notice how I caught myself. So Lady Cougars drop game 1. 25-18. Once again, taking on the number 17th ranked team in the country in Taylor University. Taylor is also on top of the Crossroads League with a 6-2 overall record. Right behind them, Grace College and MVNU, Mount Vernon Nazarene University. Both those teams with 6-3 overall records. Cougars, 4-5. It's going to be a good season for St. Francis. I can feel it. We're going to have plenty of broadcasts for you from Hudson Soul Gymnasium on the campus of St. Francis. Lady Cougar soccer team had 5 minutes left to play in the second half. It was scoreless with Calumet College of St. Joe. Lady Cougars got a goal from Caitlin Strout, her first goal of the season, as the Cougars win it 1-0. Improving St. Francis record to 2-3 on the season. Lady Cougars will take on Marygrove tomorrow. The Cougars win that matchup. They'll improve their record to 3-3 on the season, 500. Folks, also be sure to tune in tomorrow, 12 p.m. start time, as the men's football team, 2-0 record, opened up the season with a 46-10 win in Tyler, Texas against Texas College. Followed that up with a 39-31 victory over UW-Stevens Point just last Saturday. We'll play our third game of the season tomorrow against the number 20 ranked St. Ambrose Fighting Bees. Your Cougars ranked number 6 in the country. It's been an exciting season so far, and last week, quarterback David Yoder named the MSFA Player of the Week. Quite a nice accomplishment for Mr. Yoder. Preseason All-Americans include wide receiver and kick returner Austin Coleman and middle linebacker Brody Callball. Make sure to come out to Bishop Darcy Stadium tomorrow for a 12 o'clock start time. And hey, stick around. At 7 o'clock, we'll have the women's soccer match. Play resumes here in set number 2. Haley Ream with the big hit. Trojans do what they can to get it over. Haley Slusher just a bit wide. Taylor up 1-0. Rachel Weaver also with a big save there. Weaver gets it up to Weiss. Weiss over to Ream. Taylor now up 2-0. Ream, what a versatile player the freshman is. She's one heck of a setter and showing now that she can also play the outside with the serve. That was Taylor's number 12. Nice block at the net by number 5, Casey Allen. Another block by Allen. That time it gives her a point. 3-0 St. Francis. Coach Fabiana Shields may be calling for a TO, baby, here in a second. We'll find out. Once again, with the serve for Taylor is number 12, Olivia Griffith, third consecutive point. Taylor's got something going here, and we do got that TO. Timeout by Coach Shields. 4-0 Trojans on top. Looking at the Cougars' schedule here, next home match is against Marion. Wednesday, September 12th. We'll have the broadcast for you. 2 days later against Spring Arbor. Both of those are 7 p.m. starts. Cougars then go on the road to take on Davenport and Judson in Davenport. Then against Bethel and Mishawaka, another conference matchup. And then we'll be back home Friday, September 21st against Indiana Wesleyan, 7 p.m. start time. When it comes to Cougar volleyball, think 7 p.m. start time. Unless, of course, it's on a Saturday. In that case, it would be a 1 p.m. start time. Nice save there by Danielle Hartman. Getting it to the other side. Rachel Weaver just off her fingertips. Hartman was there too. 5-0. Taylor in control early here in set number 2. Once again, it's Olivia Griffith, the freshman from East Grand Rapids, Michigan. She went to Forest Hills Northern High School. I must have jinxed her there because point Cougars Cougars behind by 4. Sarah Clark now with the serve. Bam. Picked up by the Trojans. Griffith sends it over. That was number 5, Casey Allen, winding up for the big hit right into the net. Point Cougars. Carrie Clark once again with the serve. Jump serve. Picked up by number 7. That was Kelsey Carr. Lindsay Weiss setting up for Slusher. Big save by Carr. Weiss over to Ream. Ream over to Carrie Clark. Slusher sending it down big time. Cougars clawing their way back now within 2. Haley Slusher, another one of these talented freshmen, along with Ream and the Clarks. Big hit there by number 4, Allie Swart. That should not come by surprise. Swart, she's one of the team leaders in kills. Hirschberger sends it over. Carrie Clark had to dive to save that one, and it was well worth it. Carrie. Point Cougars within 2. St. Francis last year, normally in these sets, would always play close. Once you got to about 16-16, that's normally when the opposing team would start to separate. That is something the Cougars are working on early on, and now within 1. And the Cougars have been very successful early on in the 2012 season. As I said, a 4-5 record. Already better than last year. Big serve there by Rachel Weaver, and I'm telling you what, the no-quit attitude here by the Cougars is really getting to the Trojans. They've given up maybe 5 straight points. 4, thanks Ben. And we're tied up at 6. Carrie Clark there, nice set to Weiss, over to Ream. Griffith setting it up to, that was Swart. Haley Ream, a beautiful looking shot, placed it perfectly. Ream puts this one over to Weiss. Weiss over to Kaiser, just a bit in front of her. And a big time block by number 10, Sarah Clark. Point Cougars up now 7-6. Very impressive, I'd have to say, Ben. Cougars taking the 1-point advantage, and one time in this match being down 5-1. Another point. Cougars starting to get her rolling. And we got a timeout called by Coach Brittany Smith. Folks, this broadcast would not be possible without the help of our USF student workers. On the camera is Myquisha Bratton. Played on the women's basketball team last year. Played her first 2 seasons at Vincennes. Played her junior year at Morgan State. Traveled all the way out to the East Coast. Decided to come back home and play her senior season in front of her family. Now she's up in the booth working with us, bringing you today's video. Also up here with us is Ben Noble, a junior from South Bend, Indiana, plays in the pep band, and also brings you the highlights. Make sure to visit our St. Francis Cougar YouTube channel to see highlights from today's match. Ben will also have highlights from earlier today's 1-0 women's soccer W over Calumet College of St. Joe. Back to the action. It's number 3, Rachel Weaver with the serve. Fort Wayne, Indiana project is Weaver. Olivia Griffith. A nice setup right behind her to number 4, Allie Swart. When it comes to the big hits at the net, there's really 2 numbers that should stay in your mind for Taylor. And it starts with number 3, Ashlyn DeHoop, and number 4, Allie Swart. Swart's a pretty good last name for a big hitter like that. Sarah Clark sending it over. Just over the outstretched arms of Amanda Beebe. Amanda Beebe from Aurora, Illinois, Aurora Christian. They really turned around their football program right after Don Beebe took over, that's for sure. Nice shot dropped in. Justine Kaiser couldn't get to that one. Point Trojans now within one. I spent 4 years out in the western suburbs of Chicago, and Aurora Christian really went from an 0-12 program to a state title contender. Bam, just like that. Don Beebe taking over. Serve heads over, set by Ream over to Sarah Clark. We got some good freshmen out here to go along with a nice mix of, well, I guess I can only say one senior, and it's Jessica Aerosmith. Junior serving the rock right now is Danielle Hartman, both from Churubusco, Indiana. I have to say, it almost seems unfair when Michaela Sir gets up to the net and just throws it down with ease. Ace Trojans. We're back to being tied at 10. With the serve, that's to who? Aerosmith into the net. Up at the net was number 13, Elizabeth Luke, and number 15, Montana Ashland for Taylor. DeHoo with the serve. Picked up by Weaver. That was Ream setting it up for Sarah Clark. Ream once again over to Hartman. Hartman sends it over to Taylor. Sir with the big hit. Blocked at the net. I believe it was Carrie Clark. We got a double hit coming up 2 times. 1 point for St. Francis. Back to being tied at 11. With the service, Sarah Clark, Valparaiso, Indiana. She's a freshman. She is also first on the team, or second, with 59 kills. Gets the ace and the point. 1 point lead now for the Cougars. It's very impressive. Sarah is only 3 kills behind her sister, Carrie Clark, who wears number 8. Both the team leaders in kills. Killed the net there. Point Trojans. Back to being tied at 12. 12 all. Haley Slusher back into the match for St. Francis along with Haley Ream. Carrie Clark, Sarah Clark, Jessica Aerosmith, Danielle Hartman on the floor for your Fighting Cougars. Big block at the net. But the ball was tipped out of bounds. It was number 5, Casey Allen. Nice job by Casey. Point St. Francis. Will take it. Lindsay Weiss now with the serve. Weiss letting her fly, picked up by Hirschberger. And that ball's just a bit long. Number 13, Elizabeth Luke, flexing her muscle on that hit. 14-10 Cougars. Lindsay Weiss once again with the serve. Nice set by number 1, Julia Wiley. And Carrie Clark with another kill. St. Francis on top now, 15-12, 3-point advantage. So Carrie Clark, Haley Ream, Haley Slusher at the net for the Cougars. 16-12. Cougars on top with the serve. Lindsay Weiss. Right next to her is Rachel Weaver, libero. Odd color jersey. Looks good. Ooh. Point, Taylor. That was a nasty looking hit there by number 5, Casey Allen. Few new Trojans into the match. With the serve is number 12, Olivia Griffith. Excuse me, the freshman. But she rattled off about 5 in a row there to start this match. Isn't that right, Ben? About 5 in a row. Carrie Clark, point Cougars. Clark now with the serve. Rachel Weaver on the back line. Haley Ream, Haley Slusher, Lindsay Weiss at the net. Excuse me, Justine Kaiser at the net. Lindsay Weiss back off just a little bit. Set over to number 10. Just squeaks over Jackie Close, sophomore from Monroe Falls, Ohio. Stowe Monroe Falls High School. Hirschberger picked up by Carrie Clark. Justine Kaiser lets her rip. Arguably the hardest hit ball all day. Cougars with a 4-point advantage. Timeout. Brittany Smith. Brittany Smith, married to the former SID of Taylor, Eric Smith. Eric, a good friend of the St. Francis Cougar Athletic Department. Eric has since left the department. And they've got 2 interim SIDs taking over in his place. But Eric did a fantastic job over at Taylor, and his wife, Brittany Smith, well, we'll let the work on the court speak for itself. Taylor, always in the national rankings. Back to it. Cougars soon to get in the national rankings. Fabiana Shields, what a heck of a job she's done here in her second season with St. Francis. With the serve is number 3, Rachel Weaver. Rachel sends it over. Big hit coming up there by, was it Swart? No, to who? Just a bit long, point Trojans. Within 3 now are the Lady Trojans. They wear the gold tops, black trunks, blue trunks for the Cougars, black tops with the blue sleeves. I like St. Francis new uniforms this year. Looking good. Weaver picks it up. Weiss with a nice, she was in the net. Point Trojans. That was a tough play there for Weiss. As that ball was heading into the net, she was trying to bring it back out. Set it up for Kaiser. Who wouldn't want to set it up to Kaiser? She's got a big time cannon of an arm. Sarah Clark getting her done. Point Cougars. Jessica Aerosmith about to enter in for Lindsay Weiss. With the serve is number 5, Haley Ream. Long serve. Just inside the line. Ream with the ace. Folks, entering this matchup, Ream, 27 kills, 57 assists. But big time shot there from Taylor. Carrie Clark couldn't stay on top of that one. St. Francis still with a 3-point advantage. 20-17. This is Wiley with the serve. The assist leader for the Trojans. Big shot there by Sarah Clark. Now Sir's going to send it over. Jessica Aerosmith setting up Kaiser. Nothing Sir could do about that one. Kaiser's got a cannon. 21-17, St. Francis on top. Danielle Hartman now with the serve for the Cougars. That was Hirschberger picking it up for the Trojans. Montana over to Sarah Clark. Dahoo! And it was in. Looked a little bit long here from my vantage point, but I'm pretty far away from that sideline. Trojans get the point, 21-18. Cougars on top. Dahoo with the serve. Sarah Clark sending it over. Sir now to hit it. Picked up by Ream into the net. Served by Dahoo from Clive, Iowa. Wow, what a big time hit, Carrie Clark. 22-19, Cougars on top. Twin sister Sarah Clark now with the serve. Picked up by Hirschberger, set by Wiley, and the shot by Montana Ashland just a bit long. Cougars 2 points away from taking set number 2. Sarah Clark pounding the ball, looking for an ace, just a bit long by about 6 feet. Cougars with a new court this year as the MCC transitioned over to the Crossroads League. Crossroads League logo down there in the lane, looking good. I like it. Cougar head at the center court looks sharp. Whoa! Attempted save there by number 10, Jackie Close. Set point here for the Cougars, 24-20. As the crowd here at Hutzel Arena gets to their feet. Haley Slusher there picks it up. Lindsay Weiss setting it behind her to Ream. Picked up by Hirschberger. Wiley with the set. Big time hit there by number 10, Jackie Close. As the deflection heads out of bounds, we're still at set point, 24-21, Cougars on top. The Trojans with the serve. A number of the Cougar football players in attendance rising to their feet. Point Trojans within 2. And we got a TO called by Coach Fabiana Shields. 1 minute and counting. Cougars up 24-22, looking to close out set number 2. It was Taylor that took set number 1, 25-18. Danielle Hartman over to Weiss. Weiss sets it up behind her for Carrie Clark. Now it's Olivia Smith setting it up for Swart. Blocked out of bounds. Carrie Clark and Haley Slusher there. 24-23. Cougars got to get this point here. Smith sends it over. Hartman over to Weaver. Weaver to Clark. Big time hit. Oh no. By number 5, that was Casey Allen. She knew it. Tied up at 24. Justine Kaiser in the back with Weaver and Weiss and Carrie Clark. Haley Slusher in the middle. Carrie Clark on the outside. Couple of Trojans ran into each other on that one. It was number 7, Kelsey Carr, and number 4, Allie Swart. Set point 25-24, and with the serve will be Carrie Clark. Squeaks in there as the Cougars take set number 2. We're all tied up in this match 1-1. Carrie Clark. Got a little bit of swag down there on the court, I'd have to say. Carrie, the freshman, coming up big there as the Cougars take it 26-24. Can't say enough about the importance of this match. Taylor is a well-renowned program known around the NAIA country. St. Francis, well, the program had fallen on some tough times. 3 coaches in, I want to say, 5 years. 3 coaches in 5 years. Now we got a good one. Her name's Fabiana Shields. She's in her 2nd year. Arguably, I won't even say arguably, she is the most decorated volleyball player to come, I should say female volleyball player, to come out of IPFW. There's another volleyball player to come out of IPFW, and his name is Ball. Either way, shoot, Ball, he played on 4 or 5 USA teams. Arnie Ball's the head coach. His son, well, of course, it just has to escape me here in the moment. Either way, Arnie Ball, can't say enough about him. IPFW men's and women's volleyball programs. A model of consistency, a model of success. And there is the MSFA Player of the Week entering the gym now, David Yoder. Lloyd Ball, I got it. Lloyd Ball played in, I don't know if it's 4 straight Olympics, maybe 5 straight Olympics. At one time, I believe he was like 38 out in the court, playing with a bunch of 22-year-olds, could still hold his own. I believe this year's Olympics was the first he did not compete in since graduating from IPFW. Boy, I want to say it was in the late 90s. Nonetheless, we're back to the action. 3rd set coming up for you. We're tied up at 1. This young Cougar team playing their hearts out. And it's fun to watch, folks. You got to get down here to the Hutzel Gymnasium to watch these girls play. We got a little bit more depth now, actually a lot more depth. Still don't have as many players as Taylor, but that's okay. We got a lot of quality on the bench here at St. Francis. Actually, Coach Fabiana Shields found out, I don't know if it was a day before preseason camp started, she lost 2 of her players. One of them being arguably the best player we had returning. So definitely Fabiana Shields making the most of what she has, and bam! Point right off the bat, St. Francis. Carrie Clark, along with Haley Ream and Haley Slusher, making up that front line. Danielle Hartman, Rachel Weaver, and with the serve is Lindsay Weiss. Sent over there by Swart. Ooh, that one went off the fingertips a little bit wrong. Lindsay Weiss knows it. She says, oops, my bad, we're tied at 1. That's Hirschberger with the serve. Courtney Hirschberger, the senior, 5'6" into the net. Point, St. Francis. 2-1, Cougars on top. Carrie Clark. Oh, no. That was a nasty serve in for an ace. 3-1, Cougars. Carrie Clark now with the serve. Oh, off the knuckles of number 7, Kelsey Carr. Looking good. Keep it up, Clark. 4-1, Cougars with the advantage. Carrie Clark with the serve. Set up for, I believe that was Swart. Oh yeah, Cougars are on a roll now. Haley Slusher was there getting into the action along with Ream and Weiss. Looks Haley Slusher, she's tough there in the middle. Arguably the player of the match against Huntington. Don't know if the adrenaline got to carry on that last one, but she served it just a bit far off the baseline. 5-2, St. Francis on top. Let's go, Cougars. With the serve for the Trojans is number 14, Amanda Beebe. Just a bit long. A lot of really good volleyball in that area of Illinois where Beebe is from. From Aurora Christian, probably about 7 miles away. Nice save there by Weaver, picked up by Clark. Over to the other Clark. Clark just sends it over. That time that was DeHoo. Sarah Clark gets that one blocked, picked up by Weiss and Carrie Clark. Weaver sends it over. Whoa, that one almost squeaked in there. That was Swart with the save. Point Taylor. But yeah, folks, in Beebe's neck of the woods, Bennett High School, about 7 miles east of Aurora Christian, another fabulous volleyball program along with Joliet. And Mother McCauley closer to the city. Folks, these are some very, very good volleyball programs in the Chicago area. For Coach Smith to be able to go in that area and pull a recruit, once again, it just speaks to her program. Point, Cougars, up 7-3. Haley Ream now with the serve. Hits the net and heads over. That one went up to the rafters. As hard as it shot up, it came down almost twice as fast. Carrie Clark wanted nothing to do with that ball. We're not mad at her. 7-4, Trojans on top. That serve is a bit long. 8-4 now. Cougars extend their lead by 4. Danielle Hartman with the serve, picked up by Beebe. Over to number 10, a beautifully placed ball. Pinballed around the St. Francis end until the Trojans got a point. Number 10 for Taylor was Jackie Close. Entering the match now is number 5, Casey Allen, as Montana Ashland heads to the bench. With the serve for Taylor, it's number 7, Kelsey Carr. Hartman picks it up. Ream sets it up behind her for Sarah Clark. Ream this time, it's Aerosmith over to Sarah Clark. Excuse me, Carrie Clark. Carrie wears number 8, Sarah wears number 10. Both are ridiculously good for St. Francis. Big shot there by Jackie Close into the net. 10-5 lead for St. Francis. The wheels are moving for the Cougars. They're gaining momentum here set by set. Dropped the first set 25 to, I believe, 18. Won the second 26-24. In command early here, 10-5. Ream sets it behind her to Aerosmith. Point, Taylor. Double hit by Ream. Trojans within 4 now with the service, number 17. No, I'm sorry, that's number 12, Olivia Griffith. That block goes out of bounds. Carrie Clark, nice job. Lindsay Weiss back into the match for Jessica Aerosmith. 11-6, Cougars up by 5. Lindsay Weiss with the serve. Picked up by Hirschberger. Over to Swart. Rachel Weaver just out of her outstretched arm. Rachel Weaver, 5'7" freshman, once again, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Carroll High School. Hirschberger with the serve. Picked up by Carrie Clark. Weiss over to Justine Kaiser with the big hit. Oh, what a big block by Haley Ream. These girls are on it right now in set number 2, up 12-7. Justine Kaiser in for Danielle Hartman. Had to wait for the whistle. With the serve for the Cougars, it's Carrie Clark. Picked up by number 7 for Taylor. And that shot from number 5, Casey Allen, goes just a bit long. Kelsey Carr, number 7, had a nice dig to start that rally off for the Trojans. Volley, I should say. Volley. Big serve by Carrie Clark. Big and long. Back to serve for the Trojans is number 14, Amanda Beebe, the senior. Amanda, 6'2" senior. As Kaiser's shot goes long. I gotta say, Beebe doesn't look like she's 6'2" from up here. I'd say more maybe around 5'10". But Taylor, there's no doubt about it, they got height on their roster. And it starts with serve. The 6'4" freshman, Haley Slusher, gets it over. Big time hit by Swart. Allie Swart's a 6-footer. She looks every bit of 6 foot. With Beebe, I'm going to go more around 5'8". Granted, we are up here in the Pigeon's Nest. Justine Kaiser, nice dig. Ream's going to have to send it over. Hirschberger picks it up. Swart, a little bit too hard to handle. Rachel Weaver was there. 13-11 right now. Cougars on top. TO called by Fabiana Shields, second-year coach. As we said, the Cougars opened up the season on the road against Huntington and whooped up on the Foresters 27-25, 25-20, 16-25, and 25-23. Huntington, though, has lost 6 straight matches, 0-6 on the season. Spring Arbor's 1-10 overall in the season. Goshen College 4-6, Bethel College 5-5, Indiana Wesleyan is 7-1. Indiana Wesleyan 7-1, but they lost their first conference match. Grace actually beat them 25-19, 15-25, 25-16, and 25-19. Indiana Wesleyan, the number 7th ranked team in the country. After Grace knocked them off, I guess it's safe to say Grace is receiving points. Serve is long, point Cougars, 14-11, St. Francis on top. Served by the Cougars. Yellow. Not sure what was going on there, but Haley Ream just took matters into her own hand. Point Cougars. St. Francis up by 4. Rachel Weaver with the serve. Picked up by Beebe. Swart sending it over. Carrie Smith doing all she could just to keep that ball in the air. She's not too happy with it, but you might want to say, don't be so hard on yourself. That was a tough play there. With the serve, Julia Wiley. Lindsay Weiss, a nice set behind her to Sarah Clark. Carrie Clark now over. Rachel Weaver sends the ball over nicely. Yellow. Montana Ashland, the middle hitter. 5'10" sophomore from Adrian, Michigan. Lenawee Christian High School. She left no doubt about that one. Found an opening and let her rip. Off Haley Ream's forehead. Tough play there for the Cougars as the Trojans come back within 1. Scores 15-14, St. Francis on top. Nice volley going on here, and Ream once again with a big-time hit. Very impressed with that freshman. Lindsay Weiss was about to get it set up. Dig attempt by Weiss. A little bit of miscommunication there between Weiss and Sarah Clark at the net. And that's one thing that Fabiana Shields had said as I talked to her earlier is once the girls start communicating a little bit better and playing together a little bit better, we're really going to have something here. As it is, we're tied up 1-1 as we're in the third set. Cougars take the lead now, 16-15. So, wow, if the Cougars have a lot more improvements to make, folks, watch out here a month from now and a year from now. Ream with the serve. Back to being tied up at 16. Hirschberger's got the serve for the Trojans. Courtney Hirschberger, once again a senior, libero. Something not going on right down there as the substitutions need to be a little bit cleaner on both sides. Coming into the match is number 6, Maggie Williamson. I have not called her name yet. She's from Powder Springs, Georgia. Freshman, 5 foot, 7 inches. Nice pickup by Weaver. Sarah Clark sends it over. Too many times. Point. St. Francis up 17-16. Justine Kaiser coming out. Coming in is Danielle Hartman. Hartman lets her fly. Picked up by Beebe. Big shot there by Ashlyn. Ream now setting it up for Carrie Clark. Good dig by number 10. Oh, yeah. Carrie Clark saw that one the whole way. Point, St. Francis up by 2. (18-16), St. Francis on top. Cougars up 18-16. Danielle Hartman with the serve. That shot was by number 10, Jackie Close, just a little bit too far. (19-16), Cougars on top. Hartman once again. That ball's out of bounds. That had a wicked kind of spin to it as the ball was rotating east to west. Basketball players. With the serve for Taylor's Kelsey Carr. Danielle Hartman. Ream over to Jessica Aerosmith from the back line. Little bit. Oh, that was in. I didn't think it was in, but ref had a better view than me. Ben, do you think it was in? Ben says no. I trust Ben. 19-18, Cougars up. Ream, Aerosmith to the back row. It's Sarah Clark. If that last one was in, that one was surely in. We're back to being tied at 19. Entering the match is Allie Swart. Swart has a wicked swat, as she is a team leader in kills for Taylor. Allie with 76, Ashlyn DeHue with 84. DeHue wears number 3, Swart number 4. To be honest with you, I haven't seen a lot of number 3 in today's match. I think we got a double hit coming up. Point Taylor. (20-19). Cougars still on top. Picked up by Carrie Clark. Ream, what a beautiful set by Haley Ream. Gets it all the way to the opposite side. Jessica Aerosmith. Point Taylor. Danielle Hartman. Ream sends it over to Carrie Clark. Big time blast. Carrie Clark. Cougs up by 1. With the serve, it's Lindsay Weiss. Lindsay Weiss. Carrie Clark. Weiss, that one's just out of bounds. So it's Hirschberger with the serve now for Taylor. Picked up by Rachel Weaver. Over to Haley Ream. Oh! All Elizabeth Luke could do is throw her hands up to guard her from that big-time shot. Haley Slusher back into the match. Slusher play in the middle. Got Haley Ream to help her. Lindsay Weiss setting duties. And Justine Kaiser playing the left side. Served by Carrie Clark. Uh-oh. Swart set up big on that one. It was just a little bit long. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Ashlyn DeHoo. Swart playing in the middle. She's number 4. 23-21, St. Francis. Another big serve by Carrie Clark. Reams setting it up for Justine Kaiser. Out of bounds. Great eye there by Justine Kaiser. (24-21). Set point with the serve. It's Carrie Clark. Hirschberger, DeHoo, big time spike from the middle. DeHoo and Swart close to the net. 24-22. Oh, the Cougar crowd starting to get into this one. Rachel Weaver picks it up. Lindsay Weiss behind her. Over to Haley Ream, just a bit long. 24-23. Cougars need to get this point. Timeout, Fabiana Shields. Back to the action. Cougars up 24-23. Set point here. Taylor once again the 17th ranked team in the country. And arguably even better than that 17th ranking. With the serve, it's Beebe. Amanda Beebe. Pressure's on from the Cougar crowd. Stomping their feet. As Beebe sends it over, picked up by Rachel Weaver, set by Weiss. Haley Slusher throws it down big time. Cougars win set 2, 25-23. Exciting stuff, folks. We'll have another break in the action here, a little 3-minute break. Once again, folks, remember, tomorrow, 12 p.m., your Cougar football team, NAIA powerhouse, number 6 ranked team in the country, hosting the Fighting Bees from Davenport, Iowa, St. Ambrose, number 20th ranked team in the country. They bring with them a strong ground game, folks. Last year was Anton Wilkins and Cole Kelly leading the rushing attack for St. Ambrose. Both actually got hurt, though, in the first half. So Cougars rallied back to get the W. That was to open the season last year. As Taylor runs back out onto the court. Coach Brittany Smith took him into the locker room, I think, real quick there. Wanted to get him out of this environment and refocused. Because the Cougars, all we need to do is win this set here, and we are in good shape. And getting ready for the serve is number 12. And you can see Brittany Smith, the coach in her 7th year with Taylor, just calm down, telling the girls to calm down. Big time hit there by Swart. And now it's Carrie Clark. Block over there by Swart and number 12, Olivia Griffith. It's Griffith with the serve. Trojans up 1-0. Haley Ream sends that one over. Wow, nice placement there by number 5, Casey Allen. Casey with a little bit of swag down there on the court. Olivia Smith. I believe it was in set number 2 when Olivia had the Trojans off to a 5-1 start. Swart with the swat. 3-0 Trojans up early here in set number 3. Excuse me, set number 4. Just a bit long, 3-1, Cougars on the board. Carrie Clark now at the serve. Carrie Clark entering today's match with 52 kills in the season. Double hit, point, Cougars. Clark once again with the serve. Olivia Smith sends it over to Swart. Swart once again with another op. Big line of defense there by Haley Slusher. And Haley Ream getting back into position to make that block. What a great job by the freshman from Ohio. Hirschberger couldn't get to that one. Point. Cougars were tied up at 3. Ream is on fire. Haley Ream, number 5, the setter from Rockford, Ohio, Parkway High School. Carrie Clark with the serve. Swart, big time blast off the shoulder of Weiss. Yeeks. Weiss dove right into the press table. Hirschberger and the Trojans up by 1 with the serve. Rachel Weaver had to dive to save that one. Justine Kaiser, that shot was blocked big time by number 5, Casey Allen. Casey comes from Kendallville, Indiana, East Noble High School, 6-foot freshman. She's a good one. Carrie Clark sends it over. Eeks, and I think Weiss just got a fingertip on that one on the other side of the net. Can't do that. (6-3) Trojans on top. Weiss back to Carrie Clark. Olivia Smith setting it up for DeHue. Picked up by Lindsay Weiss. From the back row, it's Carrie Clark. And number 5 was all over it, Casey Allen. Casey with another big spike. We got a timeout called by Coach Fabiana Shields. Yikes, yikes, yikes. When Casey Allen, Kelsey, no, it's Casey. When Casey Allen gets up to the net. Holy cow. Taylor on top right now, 7-3. Seven, 3. Trojans on top, making their way out onto the court. And with the serve is going to be number 16, Hirschberger, the senior from Fairfield High School in Goshen. Picked up by Carrie Clark. Lindsay Weiss setting it up for Slusher. That ball is drifting a little bit too close to the net. Taylor able to throw it down with the big block. Hirschberger with the serve. Picked up by Carrie Clark. Weiss over to Kaiser. Kaiser just runs to get that one. Point Cougars. Now within 4. Serve now by Rachel Weaver. Olivia Smith, a nice set over to Allen. Smith now behind her. Hirschberger gets it over to DeHue. DeHue into the net. Taylor up by 3, trailing it 2-1. Weaver with a big-time serve into the net. Taylor back up by 4. Entering the match is Beebe and Ashland. Beebe with the serve. She appears to be a serve specialist for Taylor. Justine Kaiser sends it over. Hirschberger and Swart both went after it. Olivia Smith behind her for Swart. Justine Kaiser, we got a double hit. Point, Trojans. 10-5, Taylor's rolling here in set number 4. With the serve, once again, is Beebe. Over to Sarah Clark. Off the fingertips of Ashlyn DeHue, the junior outside from Clive, Iowa. She went to Valley High School. Did not know they had a Valley in Iowa, but that's cool. As Ream sends it over. Set back to DeHue. Placed by Jessica Aerosmith. That time it was DeHue. Hirschberger with the dive. Swart hits it where the Cougars are not. 11-6, Taylor's on top. So it looks like Swart's going to head to the bench. DeHoo still out on the court, along with BB, Ashlyn, Olivia Smith, Hirschberger, and now with the serve is Julia Wiley. She's from Davenport, Iowa. Chose not to go to St. Ambrose. Rachel Weaver. A nice set behind her was Haley Ream. That was picked up by Sarah Clark. Point. Point Cougars. Danielle Hartman with the serve. St. Francis down by 4. A nice dig. That ball is sent over. Oh, right into the face of Ream. She says, oh darn, didn't even see that one coming. Danielle Hartman picks up the serve. Ream over to Carrie Clark. Olivia Smith over to Ashlyn. Set by Ream. Beautiful looking set over to Clark once again. That was Carrie. Sarah picks up this one. Ream sets it up for Sarah. Oh yeah. Sarah looked like she may have jumped a little bit too soon for that one, but it actually may have helped her out because taking a little bit of velocity off that spike proved to be the difference. Wouldn't you say, Ben? He agrees. Sarah Clark with the serve. Whoa! That was a quick hitter right there as Olivia Smith set it up for Montana Ashlyn. That was a quick hitter. Point Cougars. Back to serve, Sarah Clark. Picked up by BB. Smith over to number 13. Nice looking save by Danielle Hartman. Into the net. Sarah Clark heads to the bench. Rachel Weaver back into the game. Good looking play there by Hartman, junior from Cherubusco. With the serve is number 7, Kelsey Carr, sophomore from Muncie, Indiana. Went to Burris Laboratory. As Carrie Clark has her shot blocked. The rhythmic clap gets started by Taylor. Set by Ream. A beautiful set right behind her for Jessica Aerosmith. Aerosmith with the point. Cougars within 4. That was good stuff right there. Lindsay Weiss now with the serve. Got Rachel Weaver right next to her. Up close, it's Haley Slusher. Haley Ream. Carrie Clark's back there. Danielle Hartman. The set goes to Ream. Weiss is back in. The setter's roll. And beautiful touch by Haley Slusher. Speedway High School nearby. Lindsay Weiss once again with the serve. Gets it over. It was picked up by number 13. Back to number 13. Picked up by Danielle Hartman. Weiss over to Carrie Clark. Oh. Whether or not, Olivia Smith getting into the action along with number 5, Casey Allen, and number 13, that's Elizabeth Luke. She was busy during that volley. Wiley with some words with Brittany Smith, the coach, on the bench over there. Rachel Weaver up to Weiss. Weiss over to Carrie Clark. Bam, nothing happening there. Casey Allen tried to block it. Stayed on her side. Cougars within 3. I think we can win this set here and take the match 3-1. What a huge victory that would be early on in the season here for Coach Fabiana Shields. Just huge. Nice play there by Luke. An even better play by Carrie Clark getting it over. Ream picks it up, back to her feet to pick up that one as well. Ream looking to spike it over, picked up by number 7, Kelsey Carr. And that was number 4, Allie Swart, point, Trojans. Double hit, double hit. Hirschberger with the serve. Weiss setting it up for Carrie Clark. On the other end, that's DeHoo. Just squeaks in. Trojans up by 5. Weiss with some words for the ref. Lindsay Weiss, 5'7" junior from Caledonia, Michigan. Nice set right behind her. They're going to call another double hit. Coach Fabiana Shields calls the timeout, speaking with both Haley Ream and Lindsay Weiss, both of which are setters for Coach Shields. No joke, folks. Last year, when Lindsay got hurt, Bobby just flat out didn't have a setter, a true setter to play with. Cougars fought hard all season long last year. It's a little bit of a rough first year, but I would say a successful one overall. And you can see some of the hardships taken in year 1 are really paying off here in year 2. Cougars already a 4-5 record, surpassing their win total from a year ago by 1. Hirschberger now with the serve. 18-12, Taylor on top. Woo! DeHoo, DeLong. Point, St. Francis. Rachel Weaver now with the serve. Casey Allen with a quick save. DeHoo gets it over. Point Trojans. Trojans up by 6 now. Casey Allen's going to head to the bench. Montana Ashland back in for Taylor. With the serve, it's Beebe. Beebe, the serve specialist. Carrie Clark could not handle that one. Point Trojans up by 7. Beebe once again with the serve. Over to Carrie Clark. Sarah Clark back to Carrie. Olivia Smith with the set. Swart picked it up. Ream's going to have to send it over. A bit wide and out of bounds. Ream's not too happy about that one. Weiss over to Sarah Clark. Blocked and out of bounds. Point Cougars. Now within 7. Picked up by Beebe. Smith. Is that a double hit right there? It's two-timed. 15-21 now. Cougars within 6. Haley Ream with the serve. Picked up by Beebe. Smith right behind her over to Swart. Point Trojans. Swart heads to the bench. Back in is Julia Wiley. Big time hit there by DeHue. Justine Kaiser looking to answer on the other end. Point Trojans. Do you know what this means? (23-15). Ream sets it up for Kaiser. Wow. I think it's safe to say Justine Kaiser has the hardest spike on the floor today. Yeah, Ben agrees again. Good assessment. Danielle Hartman back to serve it up. Actually, Kaiser last year was the only freshman for Coach Fabiana Shields, but she's a good one at that. Carrie Clark got that ball over. That's DeHue hitting it where the Cougars were not. Set point. That's DeHue with the serve. Ream sets it up over there for Carrie Clark. Point Cougars. Not going away, down by 7. Sarah Clark now. Hirschberger lets it go. It's long. Trojans win set number 4, 25-17. As we head to the 5th final and deciding set. Well, for a home opener, it doesn't get much better than this one, folks. Here in Hutzel. Remember, the Cougars opened up on the road in Livonia, Michigan to take on Madonna. Madonna, another very good volleyball program. Cougars lose it in 4. Then they took part in the Cardinal Stritch tournament in Milwaukee. Played Cardinal Stritch twice, losing both. Played Iowa Wesleyan twice, winning both in 3. Then they took part in the Taylor IWU tournament. Lost to Indiana Tech in 3. Lost to Davenport in 3. Beat Robert Morris out of Illinois in 5. And then won on the road in Huntington this past Wednesday, 27-25, 25-20, 16-25, 25-23. Morgan Hansen also among the team leaders in kills. She wears number 6. She's also from Carroll High School. And I believe we have yet to see Morgan Hansen out on the court in today's match. We're all tied up 2-2 here. The 5th and final deciding match. Once again, folks, first one to 15 by 2 wins this final set. Little chest bump out there. It's DeHue and Swart. Casey Allen at the net. Eyeball to eyeball with Haley Slusher. We already got some fun activities heading on here. With the serve, it's Lindsay Weiss. Weiss lets her fly, picked up by Hirschberger. Olivia Smith sets it up for Swart. That's too far, 1-0 St. Francis. I think we should just keep this up. I think there is a mercy rule. It might be 9-0 or 11-0. Ben, do you know what the mercy? 11-0? That would be nice. Lindsay Weiss with the serve. Olivia Smith behind her to number 13. Elizabeth Luke. Lindsay Weiss once again with the serve. Hirschberger. Smith, this time in front of her to Swart. Oh boy, Carrie Clark's eyes got real big on that last hit. She saw an opening. I don't think she got it exactly where she wanted it. Taylor goes on to win the point. 2-1 St. Francis. Boom. Hirschberger. Weiss setting it up for Slusher. Slusher over to Hirschberger. Smith over to DeHue. Weiss picks it up. That's Carrie Clark on the far end. Smith backwards to Swart. Allie Swart from Utzberg, Wisconsin. It's the first time I've ever heard of Utzberg. I'm sure it's a fine place. Hirschberger with the serve. Picked up by Rachel Weaver. Good cheese in Wisconsin. Fried cheese is a normalcy there. I haven't had any fried cheese in Fort Wayne. We set it up for Haley Ream. Just a bit outside. Taylor takes the 4-2 lead. Timeout, Fabiana Shields. So as I stated earlier, Fabi lost 2 of her players probably about a week before the preseason camp started, maybe even a little bit sooner than that. But she did. She lost arguably her best returning player and another. Plus, she also lost Lindsay Ball. Ball, who is taking a medical red shirt this year. I'm sorry, it's Kristen Ball, middle blocker. Tallest player on the team at 6'1". She's from Granger, Indiana. Penn High School, that's Kristen Ball. So she's taking a red shirt. She's a junior this year, so she'll be a junior next year, eligibility-wise, which will give her 2 more years of play, which that makes for some good teams right there if you figure Kristen Ball to be amongst these freshmen maturing the next 2 years. Ball will be a senior, and you'll have Ream, the Clarks, Rachel Weaver, all maturing together. That'll be a good year for St. Francis. Nice pickup by Hartman, set behind Weiss to Haley Ream. Oh, too much something on that ball. It must be too much English forward spin on it because that ball is shot backwards. Cougars within 1. Gary Clark with the serve. Picked up by Hirschberger. Ooh, that was Swart throwing it down. Big time. Swart and DeHoo out there, along with Olivia Griffith and Montana Ashland. Hirschberger's out there with BB. Weaver places up nicely. Haley Slusher was there to send it over. Time it's Haley Ream. Weiss back over to Ream. We got a double hit by the Cougars. That's BB with the serve. Sending it over, picked up by Kaiser. Weiss sets it behind her. Ooh, Ream saw an opening, did not happen for her. I'm not even sure if that one would have landed in bounds. 7-3, Taylor's rolling. A veteran squad like Taylor definitely knows how to get it done in this situation. This is something new for these young Lady Cougars, as Slusher hits that one right into the net. 8-3 now. Taylor's rolling just a bit. We're going to switch ends here. This is the fifth and deciding set. First one to 15 by 2. With the serve, it's BB. Woo! Big time hit by Justine Kaiser. Swart was there for the block, but once again, it was just too hard. Off Swart's arms and out of bounds. Cougars within 4. Weaver with the serve, that's long. Taylor with another point. Sarah Clark, Haley Ream, Lindsay Weiss at the net. Weiss setting it up for Justine Kaiser. Kaiser's shot was blocked that time by Ashland. Nice looking block. Another timeout by Fabiana Shields. The score is 10-4. Taylor's up by 6, only 5 points away from a W. If St. Francis were to win this match, the Cougars would pull even with a 5-5 record, would be 2-0 in conference. Taylor, if the Trojans win this match, they'll improve to 7-2 on the season, 2-0 in conference. So an undefeated conference record is on the line here, Ben. We're 5 points away from Taylor winning it. And not really sure how many points away we'd be for St. Francis to win it. 11 would be nice. But once again, we need to win this one by 2. With the serve, it's Julia Wiley. Up to Weiss. Weiss setting it up for Kaiser. Kaiser gets it over to DeHoo. DeHoo blocked big time by Sarah Clark and Haley Ream. Ream picks it up to Weiss. Weiss setting it up for Clark. Oh! Just a bit long. 11-4 now. Justine Kaiser throwing it down big time. 11-5. Point, Trojans. Might want to head down now. Go grab that microphone and just get ready. 12-5, Taylor on top. Clark sends it over. That was a quick one by Olivia. Point. Cougars. 12-6, now your score. Justine Kaiser heads to the bench. Danielle Hartman with the serve. Rachel Weaver right in front of her. Hartman gets it over to Beebe. Griffith set it up for Ashland. Point Trojans. 13-6 now. Taylor on top with the serve is number 7, Kelsey Carr. Carrie Clark over to Haley Ream. Sarah Clark sends it over. Point Cougars. Score is now 13-7. Sarah Clark. Ooh, big time hit there by Sir. Once again, excuse me, it's not Sir, it's number 13, Elizabeth Luke. Luke, a 6'1" senior from Yorktown, Indiana. We got set point here. Folks, remember to stay tuned right after the match. We will have an interview with Coach Fabiana Shields. Luke, picked up by Ream, over to Carrie Clark. Griffith, not sure if Swart got to that one or not. Ream over to Haley Slusher. Oh! Is that in? It is not. Taylor takes it 15-7. Ben Noble now heading down to the court to get Coach Fabiana Shields with an interview. Okay, now Ben Noble is with Coach Fabiana Shields with a very, very good match against Taylor, and Ben's got a few questions.
Coach, obviously a tough loss to a good Taylor team tonight. How does a game like this, though, help you going forward in a tough conference?
We're very young. Taylor's first in our conference right now. I think they show it at the end why they're first, and they can come back from situations like that. We're playing a lot of freshmen, so we are going to make a lot of mistakes, but we're learning from it, and our team is getting better every day. So I'm very proud of what they accomplished today. I think there's no doubt in my mind that they can take anybody in our conference.
What made you have so much success against a good Taylor team tonight?
I think our defense was on. We served tough, so we got them out of system a lot. That helped us a lot. And our hitters were on. I think our setters needed to do a better job handling the ball, but I think our hitters were just on tonight. So,
thank you, Coach.
thank you.
And that was Coach Fabiana Shields. She has to be pleased with her team's performance today. Obviously, disappointing to lose the match as the Cougars dropped to 4-6 overall, 1-1 in CL play. Taylor now improves their record to 7-2 overall, 2-0 in conference play. I'm very impressed, I'd have to say, with Coach Shields, her team's performance today. Obviously, the Cougars are only going to get better as the season moves on. I know for Coach Fabi, she said, hey, we just need to improve in our communication. She's dealing with a lot of freshmen, a lot of new players down there. Folks, thank you for tuning in. And remember, tomorrow you can catch a broadcast of Cougar football, 12 p.m. start, as your number 6 ranked St. Francis football team will take on the number 20 ranked St. Ambrose Fighting Bees. And then at 7:30, it's women's soccer versus Mary Grove. Thanks again for tuning in.